Today, I lost a little over $300 trading NQ. I want to recap everything I took about the trades, where I got in, where I got out, things I could do better, and things I did really good on. Let's jump into it. Okay, so first off, on here, this is kind of what my chart looked like starting out the day, but let's jump over to the 15-minute. You'll see kind of like what I marked out on a lot simpler chart. Okay, so we had this major imbalance over here, okay, that obviously we were filling, and we came up and filled this morning all the way, okay. And so what I was noticing is, yeah, we had this imbalance, and it seemed like we came up. I wasn't on to take this specific move or even this morning move. What I caught was like kind of this move, these moves right here. But what you can see is when we opened up this morning, we kind of took off, filled it, and then dropped. Right, and came down into this 15-minute balance, and right now it seems like we could be looking to push higher. The two main areas that I was keeping in mind is, one, we were in this big old 15-minute, so this could lead to where we, potentially could fall off and head lower after we just got done filling it. And then when I was looking to take a trade, I noticed that we had bounced right off this 15-minute here, which could result into us needing to go higher. So we jump over to the 5-minute, kind of the stuff I was looking at for the 5-minute. So again, right around here was where we bounced. I wasn't able to catch the very beginning of this move. I let alone caught when we retraced and tapped into this 5-minute and then led to go higher. I also did lose a couple trades, which is what we'll get into. So let's jump down to the chart where you can see everything. So what I was initially thinking for this very first trade is right over here. We came up, we bounced off this 15-minute. There was a 5-minute right here, which led to this move to come higher. We came up, we took out this 15-minute liquidity, and then immediately what happened was, the second that we took it right here, we inversed this fair value gap, and so I entered in off of the inverse, and from when we took liquidity, and then obviously you can see I ended up losing about $180 contract on that trade. So that's the first one. I generally just thought that maybe after we swept this 15-minute liquidity, we were going to come down, at least retrace a little bit, catch a 1.0, if not a 2.0 risk reward ratio. Is looking to take about these lows was my target point, with this being like my first TP. The second trade was that initially after we took this, we came down and we bounced off of this 1-minute fair value gap, which led to us to come higher, and I entered in off of this break structure candle right here. Alright, so when this closed, this was my entry. I ended up getting stopped out for $125 a contract. It looks like we ended up bouncing off this fair value gap, proceeded to head slightly lower. We didn't end up taking out these lows, which is the reason for why I ended up taking longs again, was because we failed to take these lows before we ended up breaking structure again. So when we broke structure, I got kind of a late entry. The stop loss was right below these lows, which was where we broke structure at. Marked out this fair value gap. First off, we had the bounce, we had the break. We then later made this fair value gap here, and we ended up bouncing off of it, which then led us to go higher. So I took my first trim right at a 1.0. We ended up taking out these highs right here, which is typically would be my first TP. I waited slightly longer to at least get the 1.0, right? So if I would have trimmed out right here, would have only been about 85. So a little bit less than 1.0. So I was able to get the 1.0 on the first trim. And then my second TP was up here at these highs. This would have led to a 2.0. As you can see, we can pull this up and you can look at it. That was basically a perfect 2.0, right? So I didn't get the full 2.0, the full 2.0 risk to reward. I was trailing, expecting us to maybe come up and tap out these highs, but when we had this kind of rejection after taking out this 5-minute liquidity spot right here, I got a little bit nervous, so I just ended up taking a little bit, over a 1.0, about probably 1.5 risk to reward on that trade there. Obviously what I could have done was just continue to trail just tighten it up, and then I would have obviously hit. But that about sums up everything for that. If you guys do enjoy these videos, please hit that like and subscribe button, as it only helps me out, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Thank you. Peace.